Hi, Tami Jersey Roberts, Functional Nutrition Counselor. This is video 3, Functional Nutrition's Approach to Health. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Again, video number 3, Functional Nutrition's Approach to Health. I want to reiterate, everything is connected. All of our body systems are one big ecosystem. You aren't benefited the most when you break down systems one by one, and you have a specialist that looks at each system. In functional nutrition, we look at the whole body as an ecosystem, and we're all unique. We provide personalized solutions and recommendations to help people one by one. Everyone with a diagnosis is not the same as everyone else with the same diagnosis. They all got there a different way, and they're going to come out a different way. Now, again, you already know that I'm not a doctor. I don't diagnose, treat, heal, or any of that. I'm just here to help people assess and recommend changes and what order to make those changes. But we do it by assessing, recommending, and then tracking to see how things are going, because as you shift the terrain of what your symptoms are manifesting from, everything is going to shift, and we're going to need to make tweaks and changes. And it's not just one protocol that works, because we already know that one protocol doesn't work for everyone. And that's why I believe the healthcare system in the United States, especially, is the only one I can speak about. I mean, it's just it's in disarray with all the chronic illness, and people aren't getting better. And I think it's a shame, and I think it's a crisis that can be resolved. And number 3, all things matter. All the signs, the symptoms, everything, again, is connected, to repeat myself, but all things matter. You may not think that one thing is related to another, but usually they are, and they are related to that person. So, you might be having trouble hearing, and it might be weird, but you would never guess that it could be related to your kidney function. I'm not jumping to any conclusions. And again, I don't diagnose or treat any illnesses, but we look at the whole body as one ecosystem. 3 roots, many branches. You remember the tree analogy, that the tree has many branches. These are the signs, the symptoms, the diagnosis. But in the roots, in the soil, this is where we work. These are the 3 roots in the soil, in the terrain of the person's body. And this is where we make shifts that change the branches. They either squelch the symptoms, but usually they just make you blossom. And, we already know that traditional medicine and many alternative medicines, they treat symptoms. And when you treat symptoms, most of the time, the branches just get bigger, the symptoms get worse, and then new ones sprout. And you're not getting to it where it's starting from. And that's what we do in functional nutrition. So again, the 3 roots, many branches. And again, here are the 3 roots, the genes. And we talked about how you can shift your genes to express positively or negatively. That was mindset, environment, movement, and food. And of course, you can see that they're related. So We're going to talk about the digestion today. And so we can shift our digestion system. The digestive system feeds the nutrients that we need to our blood supply, which feeds all of our systems in our body. So it isn't isolated through your small intestine and, other areas, mostly your small intestine. It's all related. And most of your immune system resides in your small intestine, like 70%. And so there are a lot of things we can do to shift a person's digestion that will affect every other system in the body. And the first thing we look at is mechanical. Mechanical is just what it sounds like. Are you chewing your food long enough? Your saliva has enzymes that break down the carbohydrates that you eat. And if you're just gulping your food and eating really fast, that food isn't getting broken down enough sometimes. I'm not going to jump to conclusions because, again, everyone is unique. But we look at the mechanicals of the digestive system. After you chew your food, goes in your esophagus, down to your stomach, and there's muscle action, the peristalsis that happens to move your food through the whole digestive tract. And we want to make sure that's working properly and make sure that the transit time, the time it takes from you eat something until, it goes to the toilet, is that time too long? Is it too short? And it all depends on the person. And that's why we assess and we recommend some changes and we track to see what's going on with the mechanical part of the digestive system. Chemical would be the enzymes that break down your food and other constituents also that I'm not going to go into in this video, but we're looking at, maybe low stomach acid is very, very common. And, we want to make sure that you have the right amount of stomach acid to break down the food in your stomach before it hits your small intestine. Sometimes there's, too much fat and, there's just a lot of things going on. Structural. Is there anything structural going on as far as, are there any blockages, kinks, something going on that needs to be addressed by a Western medical doctor? Because that's not something that we would do, but we might, discover it or suspect it. But of course, we don't diagnose or treat anything like that. We just, may recommend that you go see a doctor for that. We don't, step on that boundary, but, there's a lot of things that could be going on structurally, but most of the time it's mechanical or chemical or microbial, which would be your microbiome. And do you have the right amount of probiotics and the right makeup of the microbiome as far as, the right amount of bacteria? Is it good bacteria, bad bacteria? Are you eliminating what you should be with, the probiotics, prebiotics, postbiotics, all the different biotics going on? But we just, look at that and we assess what's going on with someone. It could be that they just need to eat more fermented foods in order to create a chemical reaction. Because again, you can see all of these are connected. And the digestion, again, this system, it literally feeds the rest of the systems in our body. And people are experiencing a lot of issues that they don't think that they're related to digestion. Like they say, oh, I just eat fine, everything, I want, and yada, yada, yada. but their joints are aching. They have super weak immune system or an overactive immune system, because in the digestive system, we're also looking for food sensitivities, food intolerances, food allergies. And that's a whole nother video that I'll be doing. But, you know, we're looking at all of that. And as your gut heals, you begin to be able to tolerate more and more foods. But, you know, when we first start out, I mean, everyone is unique, so I'm not going to jump to conclusions. But if someone has been eating a lot of sugar and gluten and fast foods and just deep fried foods that are in, you know, the trans fat and just a lot of things like that, their digestive system is going to be messed up, and it's going to manifest in other systems as well, most likely. If it hasn't yet, then it probably will. But again, I'm not going to jump to conclusions. I don't diagnose or treat any illnesses. I'm just explaining here how we look at everything is connected in the functional nutrition approach to health. So again, if you're curious about your 3 roots and many branches, I encourage you to download the handout now. It's at TamiJerseyRoberts.com. Click on the blog and you'll see where you can, one of these videos, and you can download the handout for free. I encourage you to get that so you can take notes, and anything that I might say that applies to you, you know, just write it on the handout. It's made just for you to take notes with this video series, just so you have it in your mind that, hey, you know, I need to, you know, get a little bit more movement in my life. I need to buy organic when I can and when it makes sense. Just, you know, little things can make big, big differences. And that's really what I like to look at through functional nutrition. We never make major changes at one time, although it might seem like it. But, you know, we just like to change 1 or 2 things at a time until it becomes a habit, a new habit that's just part of your lifestyle now. And that way it's sustainable. You know, if you go in and you make like a whole bunch of changes and you just go all in feet first, you don't know what's working and what's not working. And that's where, you know, we come in, we make a small change, and we see how it goes for you. So again, Tami Jersey Roberts, functional nutrition counselor. I encourage you to go to my blog, TamiJerseyRoberts.com/blog, or you can just click on blog on the homepage. Thank you.